Hey, this is Kimberlee Greens. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I had a great time hanging out with Dro TV.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Dro TV. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Kimberlee Green. How are you?
Hi, I'm Kimberlee Green. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for giving Dro TV some time today and coming on the show. You can find more of Kimberlee on Instagram and TikTok, and she's doing some awesome things on there. So definitely go give her a follow. Kimberlee, let our audience know where you're located and what you got going on in the cannabis community.
Oh my gosh, I've got so much going on. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Tulsa area. I will say that. I do a lot. I'm a huge cannabis advocate in our area. I am a local patient in Oklahoma, in the state of Oklahoma. It is medically legal, so we take that opportunity to not only treat myself, but we grow for my son as well with autism, who's 6. So.
Excellent. Awesome. And yeah, you definitely have a lot going on and a lot to say as far as education goes online. So we
Yeah.
definitely want to get more into that. But the show is my first time. So Kimberlee, please let us know about the first time you got high.
Yeah, so it's interesting when you say that because I feel like my the first time I got high was pretty lame. It was a pretty lame story, honestly, because I, I was quite sheltered, so I didn't really, I didn't really drink a lot in high school. I didn't really party, but occasionally I would go. And my friend, I was like, I had a headache that night, and I didn't want to go, and she was like, "Here, use, smoke a little weed, your headache will go away, or you'll forget about it." And so I was like, I was like, so I did. I don't remember if it worked or not, so I think that it did its job.
Okay.
But that was the first time I used cannabis, and ever since, I took a long break, obviously, because I didn't really smoke before it was legal in Oklahoma up until 4 years ago now.
Right. Cool.
So it was a pretty lame story. You tried it one time in high school for medical purposes, and now I share about it medically on social media.
Yeah, look at that. Hey,
It's
everything.
wild. I know. What a
Yeah.
what a full circle for sure.
Awesome. So it's been 4 years now since it's for
It's been
medicinal
legal in
purposes in
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes. Yes. And that's actually what got me started doing what I do is because, it became medically legal. And, um, yeah, of course I got my card because why not? It's super easy to get your card if you have anxiety or anything like that. So I tried it. I had a bad experience. My husband was reading an article, saying, it helps for autism. And so I, dove into the research. I wanted to get all the information because I was like, I had a horrible experience using cannabis. How can we use this medicinally? Like, it's not possible. Like, I'm not going to give my son a panic attack like I had.
Sure.
That's what I had thought because I just got a bad strain. That's all it
Okay.
was. I just got a strain that wasn't ideal for, what I needed. And it was just education. So I continued my education through Dr. Regina Nelson, she has an accredited program condition course. So I did all 3 levels and I really, learned a lot about the plant. I learned a lot about dosaging and then I tried on myself. So I was my own guinea pig.
Okay.
With help of my doctors, I got off of 8 prescription pharmaceuticals.
Awesome.
I lost so much weight. I lost so much weight. I'm now more active, and I can do all the things and I can focus. And so, I mean, I'm a full believer that it's a medical, in the purpose. So, um, after we got my health in order, I was like, okay, I'm good. I trust that cannabis is medicine because I grew up in, a world where medicine, cannabis was not medicine when we grew up. That's not what you would treat for ADHD. That's not what you would use for anxiety. A doctor wouldn't say use this plant. Like that's not what they did. Now they do. I mean, well, I had a doctor that was just saying, that had told me that, that it was an option. But when we grew up, it wasn't.
Sure.
So, I really dug deep in the research when we got my son his cannabis card. He's into year 3 of his journey. And then we realized it was very, very expensive. So it's expensive when you have, more than one patient. We can't go into the dispensaries and buy our medicine because we have to use it, daily. We have to ingest it. He's sick, so he takes edibles and things like that. Um, but I take edibles and then I also layer by smoking. So I do both.
Okay.
Um, it's very expensive. So my husband said, "Hey, I've got a green thumb. Let's try."
Awesome.
So we decided just to full blown, do everything ourselves. I learned how to cook. So we are, like I said, we're in year 4 of my medical journey, year 3 of my son's, and we're growing. I'm cooking, and we like to share about it. I'm educated about it. I don't really take on any clients or anything like that. I kind of share that information freely just because I don't think it's fair. I feel like, in a lot of these medical states, that have these medical programs, they give patients their card, but then they don't give them the education that goes with it. And I feel like somewhere that gap needs to be bridged. So I like to just kind of share any findings that I have on social media. I kind of use my platform for that.
Yeah, it's
But
great.
so
I mean, as anecdotal as a lot of this is, when there's no years of information because we couldn't research and study and do all this on a
mhm,
federal level, it does come down to people like yourself who, hey, this is what it did for me, and now this is what it's doing for my son,
let
and it
me
might
share my
not.
experience.
Right, it might not do the exact same thing for you, but at least there's kind of a baseline that somebody can start with and say, okay, well, this is what she did and this is what worked. And um,
Yeah.
so get into some of the, if you could, some of the videos and the content you make, um, as far as educating the people.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, whenever it just I don't really make there's not really much I could say about how I do what I do. I just kind of give you guys a window into the world, and you guys can in a window into my world, I guess.
Okay.
I kind of share do it as a lifestyle blog, and I also go live. I do live streams on TikTok, which TikTok, the rules and violations with us cannabis influencers and as educators too are very, very strict. So that's why a lot of my platform is moving to Instagram, and I'll be starting to stream live on Instagram, just doing Q&As and just doing like live events. Um, Here and there where people can come in and ask questions. I'll even do, teach people how to cook, things like that. Just where really, you can learn how to take the plant, you can grow the plant and then you can take the plant into your own kitchen and then make your own medicine. So like that's kind of what I do. So the content and stuff that I create is just kind of showing you what I do on the outside. Just kind of being the content. You just kind of see what I do on a day to
Sure.
day. But then whenever I live stream, that's whenever I kind of can tell you guys more of like, one on one of, how I do what I do. And then you guys can ask questions and, but always like in the comment section, and then in my inbox, people are asking questions and I always take the time to really help them if they have a problem or, with their child, pediatric, whatever. Cause, and even, with our animals and such too, because and you can medicate your animals for
Sure.
ailments. So, all the things.
Yeah, we just got some hemp chewables for our dog and some CBD because I'm here in Orlando, Florida, and especially right now, there's pretty much thunderstorms every day. So
Oh no.
he shakes, and so we've been giving him the CBD, and it's helped a little bit. We can definitely notice a little difference. What are some of the most common questions people have as far as from a pediatric standpoint?
the
Questions they
pe-
might have.
a lot of people are your doctors okay with it? What do people say? We've always been super open and honest with our doctors. We haven't really got any pushback. The biggest thing is just being so open about it. And that was the biggest thing is just breaking the whole stigma that, a mom that doesn't look like your traditional cannabis user can use cannabis medicinally and it can be, it's not just always hippie trippy. We're always trying to get high. We're using this as medicine too.
Right.
Um, but a lot of the biggest questions is how my son takes his medicine because he has a lot of oral sensory issues, which a lot of children with autism do. They're very particular, and no one wants to fight their kid to take medicine. no one wants to fight their kid. So I cook it into a can of sugar and I give it to him in just a sugar form, and he drinks it. And it's super simple and it's easy.
Awesome.
And I don't fight him. It's, you know, what kid doesn't like Kool-Aid? What kid doesn't want a sucker? What kid
Sure.
doesn't want a gummy? So, so yeah, people people often get confused by that. I don't know if it's like a generational thing that they think that you have to consume cannabis by just smoking only, that there's other ways that you can the kids medicate.
Sure.
Um, I think that people had thought for a while that we had tried to smoke help him smoke. I don't know. We got a couple eyes in the school whenever we, you know, told them that he was a cannabis patient. I think that she really thought that we tried to let him smoke. I don't know. It was just she was older generation, but that's okay. Um, but it's interesting. People don't really realize that there's a true connection there. You know, Lincoln was not fully verbal whenever we started cannabis, and then since then, you know, he's been able to it's been able to reduce his anxiety so he can communicate, and form, you know, sentences and things like that, and you know, really open up and um, I don't know, get out of the shell a little bit.
Yeah. No, well, that's
So
awesome. And obviously it's inspired you to want to share this story because
yeah.
you've firsthand seen the benefits of what it can do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know,
Um,
having a child that's just super frustrated, that's, you know, having sleep issues, not really eating well, not communicating, things like that, and then using one medication to do all of those things where, you know, you would have you know, it would take multiple pharmaceuticals and it would take weeks and weeks, you know, for them to even see if it would work,
right.
and the back and forth. And then you have this plant that works almost instantly.
Sure. Yeah.
That's natural, that's safe.
Yeah.
So,
It's truly
but
amazing. It's I mean, I'm thankful for it every day. So uh
yeah.
now Oklahoma is certainly a budding state, no pun intended, when it comes to marijuana and cannabis. Where you are in the Tulsa area, are there events, people reaching out to you to learn more about, you know, your trials with it, especially with your son?
Yeah, a lot of people do. There's a couple dispensaries here locally that are going to be starting to form community groups for, you know, caregivers and resources and things like that coming up in the next couple months. So that's fun. But we often go to our dispensaries have pop-ups and events. I often go to those where they share information and learn about other products to kind of share um, about as people ask questions.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
how's your husband's green thumb been?
It's been great.
Ah,
We're doing well.
awesome.
We're right in the middle of the season, you know, like we're in the thick of it because we are outdoor growers. And we
Okay.
started indoor actually. But indoor growing is very expensive. Just because, you know, whenever it comes to electricity and things like that and keeping it cool in Oklahoma is just a nightmare. So we like to grow outside and we like to grow organic. So this is our fourth grow. Yeah, this is our 4th grow,
Awesome.
and we're able to grow 6 per patient.
Okay.
So we have some beautiful plants, and like I said, I share them on my Insta. I can't share them on TikTok because rules, but we have a lot of actually all behind me. We have about a row of CBD, and then the other ones are specific for autism as well. So it's nice. It's really nice. It's a lot of work.
Mm,
This is kind of the easy part, is just the kind of, you know, maintaining and admiring the beauty, but, like, whenever it's Croptober, harvest season,
right.
that's when the real work comes. The trimming is the hardest part of growing.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
must be satisfying too, especially growing outdoors,
Yeah.
you know, to go through the whole process of trimming and
It's
you
beautiful.
get a decent yield out of 12 plants?
Yeah. Well, 3 patients. So,
3
yes.
patients. Okay.
Yes, we do really, really well. In Oklahoma with patients, so you can go to a patient processor and you can have all of your grow processed at one time. And if you don't want to do it yourself, so we're looking at doing that this year since we're having such a large grow. Um, but yeah, we're going to do really, really well. I should not have to go. You know, we should do really well. May be able to skip a season.
Great. We interviewed Slim from Carter Creek Cannabis. Um,
Uh,
I think he might be in Broken Arrow. I'm not sure how far away from Tulsa
I'm
that
not
is.
familiar. Yeah, but that's Broken Arrow is not far from me.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's where he's out of, but they got a very decent size, more than decent size operation going
Yeah.
on there. And they definitely seem to know what they're doing. Um, so yeah, maybe check them out.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe I'll have to connect with them for sure.
yeah, you can do the Carter Creek tour, I guess, and
Yes.
get that posted on your Insta. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we were doing more Instagram lives for a while, and we've just been so busy. We got another show in development, but we're trying to get back into the Instagram lives because we find, especially um, when we do it with somebody else, and then that
Mhm.
person comes on, and then their viewers are watching. It's definitely a great way to grow. It's kind of like a cross promotion type way. So, um,
Instagram is a fight, man.
yeah,
It's really hard to grow on Instagram for sure. But yeah, we often go live on Instagram. I mean, it's just kind of I've been going live on TikTok for so long, but now since the rules and regulations and stuff are up so high on there, it's um it's hard.
hey, everybody, I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance is a great way to create your own self sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. Yeah. Have you been like taken down temporarily off of TikTok or
Once, but it's kind of it's tricky. It's tricky with TikTok. It's almost like most people don't care. Most people really truly don't care, but it's you'll get one bad part beyond your your feed can get thrown on one bad part of TikTok and one it get reported and you get taken down. But they don't like if you just show smoke or any smoking accessories or anything like that. But the only thing that's different about Instagram is that we can't play music. So it's kind of like
right.
awkward silence
Yeah.
whenever you're live or if we're doing things. And whenever I work, I typically play music. So whenever I'm cooking, it's like awkward silence of me cooking in my kitchen.
Right.
So that's what's so hard. It does make it more fun to go live with other people on Instagram for sure.
Yeah, there is a way, I think it's Creative Commons music, where you
Oh, I
can,
wasn't aware of this.
yeah, it's like a lot of people use them for their YouTube videos, whether it's like just like music beds. Um, and it's
Mhm.
like free shareable music that musicians put up, and like they get credit for it. So, but I think like on Instagram and lives and stuff like that, if you had it in the background, I don't think they would flag you. Um,
Hmm,
so yeah, definitely check that out. But
to check that out.
I would imagine, I'm not on TikTok, but I would imagine I could like do a keg stand or throw back like 5 shots of tequila, and that's okay, right?
Oh, you can do dirtier things than that.
Okay, okay.
You can do
Actually,
dirtier things like that and not get banned on TikTok, but if you use cannabis, you will get in trouble.
yeah, God forbid.
That's a
God
big rule
forbid.
breaker. I know. Us use medicine. I know it's the worst. But yeah, so far my account survived. My account has survived on TikTok for 3 years,
Great.
maybe a little bit longer. Um, but I'm approaching 100K again because all of our stoner community keeps on losing their accounts and then finding that finding their way back. But TikTok is a really hard platform to exist as a cannabis educator or any kind at any capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, we've yet to take any time on TikTok and just focus on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter because Twitter's pretty good. We're just not able to grow fast enough on there. But Instagram and YouTube is
Yeah,
probably where we'll have our,
I can't get with Twitter. I can't get with Twitter.
yeah. Well, the inmates running the insane asylum. So that's
Right.
pretty much what Twitter is. But I just, for the most part, I just post what we need to post and then leave. Um, but that's great. What's on the horizon for the future of the rest of 2022, 2023? Any personal goals you're trying to achieve?
Um, honestly, I haven't really thought of it. I have some really great events coming up at the end of the year that I'm excited about, and some projects that, I can't really share about yet that we're talking about.
Okay.
I kind of feel like my life has been on pause for a second, getting my son adjusted into school and then just getting through this next harvest. But definitely there's a lot of, cannabis moms and autism moms getting together, that are all, in cannabis education. Going to be doing a lot of things, hopefully by the end of the year. I would say within the next month, I would hope we could get really things going. But just, yeah, there's so many things that I just can't say about yet, just kind of floating. But this is my busy season. My busy season is getting my kids back to school, which I have successfully done. They just started last week. And then getting through this grow so I can kind of set back for a second before Croptober and just hope the storms don't hit us too soon in Oklahoma,
Right.
um, to let them continue to flower so we have a nice healthy harvest and I can make tons of medicine for me and my son. Um, so that's my goal. And to, if I can help a couple families with cannabis along the way, that would be great too.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, the cannabis community in general, on a local, a state, a federal level, on a
Hmm.
social media level,
Yeah.
it's really awesome to see people from all walks of life, shapes and sizes, come together and help each other, and um, it's awesome. So this is why we love
Yeah.
doing this and meeting people like yourself and hearing your story, and being able to promote you as well, because
That's
that's pretty much what we're trying to do here, is spread the good word.
Well, I love to share about my son's story. So it's made such a big impact in our life that I love to, share the change, and then, and teach people how to duplicate it, teach people how to grow, teach people how to cook. Just let them know that it's an option for sure.
Awesome. Well, Kimberlee, it's been great speaking with you about your journey, your son's journey, and um, we thank you for giving us some time. Please let everybody know the best place that they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram, just Kimberlee Greens. So, whenever I added myself as a can mom, I just added an S to my name because it kind of works.
Yeah, no, it worked out
So
perfect.
Kimberlee Greens.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go down there and smash that like button for Kimberlee. Leave a comment of what cannabis has done for you. If you have a child that uses cannabis, or maybe you are considering and you want to reach out to her, leave her a comment or go follow her on Instagram and TikTok and reach out to her. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you need to make sure you go down and subscribe to Dro TV, because otherwise you'd miss great interviews and great guests like Kimberlee. So thank you again, Kimberlee. Thank you again for everybody watching. And as always, smoke them if you got them. What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, smoke them if you got them.